another meeting to go to.
Okay, we're recording, so you guys have to be careful what you say about me.
Good to see everybody this morning.
Yeah. You're muted, Bonnie.
How was Jim?
He's doing pretty good. He did another nice long walk this morning, and so he's taking care and doing what he's supposed to be doing for this time being.
Okay, well, I think we'll go ahead and get started, and I'll just kind of go down through here, and Loretta, you can tell them where you're at.
Prineville, Oregon.
I'll wait for Janet because Janet ran away.
I
And
just want to get a notepad.
I know. Janet, you want to tell them where you're at?
I'm in Prospect, Oregon.
Oregon. And where you at?
McMinnville, Oregon.
Okay, Bonnie,
What?
unmute yourself, Bonnie.
I was coughing, sorry. I'm in Klamath Falls, Oregon.
Yeah, she's in the computer room. And Tony, are you there? Tony's and Walden is all I have. You want to tell us where you're from?
I'm back. I'm from Klamath Falls.
Okay, how about Walden?
Creighton, Kansas.
Well, thank you. We heard you. Linda, nice.
From Amity, Oregon.
And Marja.
Portland, Oregon.
All right. So I think we're going to get started. I'd like to introduce Marian Banes. Marian is one of our new members, and we're going to do something a little bit different today. She's going to actually do a little physical things, and I'm going to try to stay with her on the camera. That's why she can't see what we're doing. It's on the TV, but she's kind of looking over her shoulder to see that. So I'm going to let her take over, and I'm going to actually spotlight it for you, and I'll try to stay with her on the camera if she moves a little bit. So be kind of patient with me. I always tell people we're all amateurs and be a little forgiving here. So Marian, it's up to you.
Okay, hi, my name's Marian. I live in Klamath Falls. I just wanted to share my story, how I realized that my bones were weakening. I went to the doctor and they did a bone, I don't know what it's called, but anyway.
Density.
Say again?
Density. Bone density.
Yes, the bone density test. See, I'm not a professional, so thank you. And they found out that I'm starting to get a little bit of osteoporosis. And so I was like, that's not good. But I didn't really do anything about it because, you know, I thought, I'm okay. But then when I went to Walmart, pardon me, and I drink water bottles, I picked up a 24 case of water bottles and it was really heavy. So I picked it up and put it on the top of my cart or buggy, it depends where you're from. And went through the checkout line and drove it or got to my car and I got it in my car. And when I got home, I got it to my porch, but I couldn't get it into the house. And I thought, something's going on here. I can usually get these in the house. So I went to my chiropractor and talked to him about some physical therapy on how to strengthen my bones. And he gave me a few exercises that I'll share with you that are pretty simple and you can do at home. I have a gym membership, but I'm kind of lazy. I don't want to get dressed all up and go to the gym. So I want to stay home and work out. So this is going to be kind of short and sweet, but I think you'll get a little bit out of it. And I know that most of you have more information you could share with us about strengthening your bones. I have this book. I went to the library because I thought, well, I gotta find a book on bone strengthening. And so the only book they had in there was the Fitness for Dummies. And I'm not a dummy, but I got it anyway. And in here, it shows how to build muscle and strengthening bones. So I'll share this with you if you can see it. They can't see it.
It's good.
Okay, and it says at the bottom, that's really great form for someone taking his underwear off over his head. So
Hold it up.
I'll hold it up
A
there.
little closer. There you go. Up just a little bit.
Yeah.
That's the title, the first page of this. So, I just wanted to share that with you. And then I have a chart here that shows
Good.
the different stages of your bone density. So this is the good. Is it upside down?
Get upside down.
Oh, well, that doesn't help. Okay, so this is a healthy one. And then this is where you're going to start getting osteoporosis. And this is when it's very extreme, severe. So we don't want this. This is where I had a mother-in-law that had it very bad, and we couldn't even hug her because we'd break a rib if we did. So I'm going to read a little bit from this book to you. It says, maybe you've never considered yourself the weightlifting type. Maybe you suspect that the size of one muscle is inversely proportional to the size of one's brain. Maybe when you see Hulk guy on the street, you think he may be able to bench press my minivan, but I can read a menu in French. So the truth is that weightlifting is an incredibly smart thing to do. It's not just a form of narcissism, and it's not just for bodybuilders. Heck, these days, even 80-year-olds are pumping iron. In this chapter, we explain why you should too. We also dispel popular weight training myths and tell you what kind of results you can reasonably expect. If you think weightlifting seems too boring, too dangerous, too troublesome, or too likely to transform you into Hulk Hogan, we hope this chapter changes your mind. First, okay, let's see. No, I'm not going to read that. So I'm going to show you one right now that's very simple that you probably do, and you don't even realize it sometimes. I'm going to move this chair back. Is that okay?
Mhm.
Okay. It's just standing on your tiptoes and down. Tiptoes down. And you don't want to come down real easy. You want to come down like, you can feel your hair. That's an easy one. So that's very easy. You could do that while you're at the microwave. There you go, saying So staying strong for everyday life, if you don't use your muscles, they get smaller. This gradual slide towards wimpiness can begin as early as your mid-20s. People who don't exercise lose 30 to 40% of their strength by age 65. By 74, more than 1/4 of American men and 2/3 of American women can't lift an object heavier than 10 pounds, such as a small dog or a loaded garbage bag. These changes aren't the normal consequences of aging. They're a result of neglect, of expecting life from a recliner and the front seat of an RV. So that's me. I didn't realize I was getting weaker, and the bottles kind of woke me up. And I'm not I don't exercise all the time, but I do take care of myself as much as I can for my age. So I thought this little bits of exercise would help more. Fortunately, strength is one of the easiest physical abilities to retain as you get older. Certainly, you can do a lot more to halt strength loss than you can to prevent wrinkling skin, fading eyesight, or increasing affection for network television. One study, which included men up to age 96 found that by lifting weight, most seniors can at least double, if not triple, their muscle power. So if you rarely lift anything heavier than a cell phone, it's time to build enough brawn to get along in the real world. Increasing strength is what you need to unscrew the top of a stubborn jar of pickles, hoist your kid onto the mechanical horsey, and close a suitcase that's too full. Even if you have the stamina to sprint the full length of an airport to catch your plane, it's not going to do you much good if you can't lug along that overstuffed luggage. So at first, I didn't have weights. And so, of course, I had cans in my cupboard. So I'm supposed to do this standing, but I'll show you sitting. It's okay. Okay, all right. You hold them to your side, bring them up, and bring them over your head. Bring them and down, up and down, just up and then down. And these aren't quite 1 pound weights. And then when you get used to those, you can go to 5 pounds. It's a little heavier, but if you do just a few a day, take your time, go slow. Don't overexert yourself. A little bit that way. Okay.
Yeah, the further back you go.
Further back.
All right, I can see you more of you.
Okay. Anyway, so lift them up like this, over your head, down to your side, up, over your head, down to your side. You could do this in the chair, I'm sure. So what you're doing is your arms, you're getting strength more in your arms. That heaviness is what you need. Mess them up. Okay. Keeping your bones healthy. Strong muscles and strong bones go hand in hand. The more weight you can lift, the more stress you can put on your bones. The stress is what stimulates them. That's what we need. They say walking is the best exercise for strengthening. They mentioned swimming doesn't help because your body has no weight. I mean, it's good for other things, of course, but not for bone strengthening. Most people start out with strong, dense bones. Imagine them as poles of steel, but around age 35, most people, men included, begin to lose about 0.5 to 1% of their bone each year. I thought that was pretty interesting. That's pretty young. For women, bone loss accelerates after menopause. 1 to 2% a year for the first 5 years, and then about 1% annually until age 70. Then the loss slows back to 0.5% a year. In the 5 to 7 years following the menopause, women can lose up to 20% of their bone mass. That's a lot.
You may have had a comment.
Huh?
Did somebody have a comment?
What was the age that started at on
35.
35? Well, I'm sure that I was losing that at 35 because I was used to be 5'7.5". I'm now about 5'3".
Really? Wow.
Yeah, and I was supposed to go in, and they haven't set up any appointments and have some more bone density tests to see where I'm at. But I do a lot of lifting when I bottle hunt, and I think that's helped my arms
Yeah. And
and
then
maybe even my legs.
oh, yeah. You're putting some weight on them, I'm sure.
I'm not doing as much as I used to on it, but I'm not going to totally give it up, because if I do, I don't want to get where I just sit, because eventually you won't be able to do anything.
That's right. Yes. I'm going to show you an easy exercise to do that will surprise you how easy it is to do them once you start doing them. At first they're tough, but once you start doing them, then you realize, hey, I feel better doing this. So I'm going to move my chair to the side so you can see. Is that okay?
Yeah.
You shouldn't have to hold it, should you?
No,
I'm just sitting.
I don't. Go ahead.
Okay, so anyway, these are sit to stand.
Why don't
Very
you- why don't you move the chair back,
more.
way back?
How about that?
Okay, there you go.
Okay, these are sit to stand. Everybody sits every day. Very easy. I never even thought about it, to tell you the truth, until my physical therapist told me about this. He said, so stand up and then sit down, but don't flop down. Stand up and then sit slowly down. Sit back in your chair, then get back up. Slowly sit down. Eventually, once you do that a few times, you'll get back up and then you'll sit like this. You'll start going like this. And then you can sit, almost sit, and then you can sit if that's what helps you more. It all depends. Everybody's different. So this is a real easy one, but it does a lot for you. So try just sitting. Try that at first, maybe 5 of them. Stand up, sit down real slow. Stand up, sit down real slow. And then the next time when you're going to try 5, try standing up and then maybe seeing if you can do this. If not, just sit down slowly. That's a real simple one for you. It's surprising how much weight it puts on your legs. Okay. And then I have a diagram here. Pardon me. Of decreasing bone mass with age in men and women. It just surprises me how early it happens.
Oh, no, you're fine, just whatever it is.
Right there, if you can
Perfect.
see.
It's perfect.
Looks like 50 is the age where you're gonna start noticing it. So I said 35, that's right here. So doesn't take long to lose it. Okay, we did the sit to stand. I'll read some more to you about what they say in here. Let's see, 10 million Americans. Oh, and again, these I got off the internet today, but this book is made in 2011. So the statistics are kind of low. They're much higher right now. 10 million Americans are estimated to have osteoporosis, a disease of severe bone loss, and almost 34 million more are estimated to have low bone loss. Mass, placing them at increased risk for osteoporosis. When bones become extremely weak, picture them like chalk, porous and fragile. It doesn't even take a fall to break them. Someone with osteoporosis doesn't fall and break a hip. She breaks the hip and falls. An action as low impact as a sneeze can cause a bone fracture in a person with osteoporosis, which is really, that's kind of scary to me. That's why I try and stay active and lift as much as I can, but remember to lift with your legs too. Don't lift, just from the waist. Lift with your legs. I have some hip bands that I got from, oh, here they are. From the sporting store we have. They say Go Fit. They come in a little bag and you get 3 types of them. This one's medium. And this one's heavy, and they're just round plastic bands. And then it comes with a book too that can help you. There's other exercises in here that they show you can do with these bands. Maybe. There they are, some exercises. But anyway, what you do with these bands is put them on your legs. So you have to get your feet in there. Okay,
I'm gonna go back further.
Yep.
Go back as far as you can. You're behind the chair though.
huh,
Go.
that way, okay. I have these bands just above my knees. And when I have them on, I'm just gonna take a step to the right. Step to the right. Step to the right. Then I'm gonna go back the other way, step to the left. Step to the left. You might hear some popping like I just had, but it helps with your legs too. So these bands are kind of fun. Once you get used to it, you can run around your house in them, one way and then go the other way, and you did your exercise for the day. So it's good for you. Very simple, easy. I know the bands you have to go to the store and get, but I don't know, maybe you have like something like this around, you could tie up and put around your legs. See if it'll work that way too. I just found this extra tubing. Because you'll start with a small band first. See if this will work. We all got good imaginations. We can figure out something to make it work like it. And this is kind of loose. But it'll do the same thing. It's kind of light. Because that one I used was it was heavy. It's kind of slipping, but you get the idea, I hope. Okay. I gotta grab it from the water fast like. Okay. And just remember, this is what I'm doing. Doesn't necessarily mean that's what you should do. Everybody's different and everybody has a different pace. And you can go online and find all kinds of exercises that will help you. Just look up bone density on the computer. It'll bring up all kinds of stuff on how to take care of bone density. If you say, like bone density help, it'll show you all the stuff to buy, which you probably don't want. You just want the exercises. And like I said, this book is very basic and it was pretty good. I was surprised. I got it at the library and then I bought it online because I was like, I'm going to hang on to this. There's some good tips in here. So space cases, losing bone density. The first astronauts to spend time in space experienced significant bone density loss. In space, not only does one hear you scream, but you're weightless. There's no load placed on your muscles and bones. Oh, it says not only does no one hear you scream. Really? Okay. Because the low gravity of space has a muscle and bone wasting effect, astronauts consider serious strengthening training an essential part of their regimen. They can't lift chunks of iron while in orbit. Dumbbells are subject to the same laws of gravity as any other type of weight. So astronauts use a series of very heavy rubber bands and springs, many of which are anchored in place. Liz, the lady that wrote this book, visited the NASA Training Center in Houston a few years ago and had a lot of fun trying out the equipment and talking to the astronaut trainers as well, of several astronauts. There's another easy exercise you can do. It takes time to even hang in there for 10 seconds, but it's a good one. And you're only supposed to do it for 30 seconds, not 30 minutes, 30 seconds. And you put your leg out like this.
Go back and forth.
I'm gonna try it without holding a chair. We'll see how long I last.
Hold the chair back.
Yeah, but you're supposed to, and what I find, if you grip with your toes on the other leg, it helps. So okay, gotta hold it out for 30 seconds. 12, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. And the first time I did it, it was like 1, 2. Oh, so it takes practice. There's another thing. You can stand at the microwave and just stand there and put it on for 30 seconds to see how long you last. But you do it to each side. And you just have to hold your foot out and do it. So that's an easy one. Something you can do at home. You don't need equipment. Pardon me. Let's see. Here's some more. Osteoporosis causes more than 2 million fractures a year, mostly of the back, hip, and waist. By 2025, like I said, this is made in 2011, the total is expected to be 3 million broken bones, according to the National Osteoporosis Foundation. About half of all those who break their hips never regain full walking ability. And many of these fractures lead to fatal complications. Women account for about 80% of osteoporosis cases, but following a hip fracture, the 1-year mortality rate is nearly twice as high for men as it is for women. So, I mean, I know it's just wise to have things put up around your house so you don't trip or fall. Sometimes we have floor rugs that can trip us up. You can get Velcro or something to put on them to hold them down so they don't trip you up. Very important you don't fall. No falling. However, if you do everything right, you can decelerate this bone loss significantly by about 50%. That's really good. If you've already lost a lot of bone, you may even be able to build some of it back. Strength training alone doesn't stop bone loss, but it can play a big role. Also important are calcium, vitamin D, aerobic exercise such as walking and jogging. I would say walking is better than jogging, but you know, it's up to you. You may like to jog better. Swimming and cycling don't work as well because your body weight is supported either by the water or the bike. When you have to support your own self, your bones respond by building themselves up. So I told you about the single leg balance. I showed the curls, the hip bend, sit to stand. And another one that's really good that I always forget about, I don't know why, but I do. It's just like, I usually do it on my kitchen counter. But if you find like, see these rocks, you can stand here and go like this, you know, just like a push-up. But go slow. Keep your back straight. Hopefully mine is. And try doing those, you know, a little bit at a time. And then the next time, increase it more. It's very easy and it does help you. Okay. Preventing injuries. When your muscles are strong, you're less injury prone. You're less likely to step off a curb and twist your ankle. Plus, as we explained in that's another chapter, chapter 15, have a better sense of balance and sure-footness. So you're less apt to take a tumble during a weekend game of touch football, like I do that. But anyway, research shows that 1 out of every 3 people over 65 falls at least once a year. Almost 10% of older people who fall are hospitalized for injury, and about half of those cases involve broken bones. So I got tripped up the other day, and I got to find out about arthritis now because I'm getting arthritis in my thumbs, which is weird. But anyway, and so when I went to fall, I tried to catch myself, and my thumbs they weren't working. They were too weak. So I just kind of went with it, and I was okay. But we have to be really conscious of what our body can do and what it can't do. So that's really important with these exercises too. let's see, what else we got here for you? Looking better. Now let's talk about pure unadulterated vanity. Aerobic exercise burns a lot of calories, but weightlifting burns, lifts, builds, and shapes your muscles. A marathon runner may be able to go the distance, but he won't turn any heads on the beach if he has a concave chest and string bean arms. He may also be a faster runner if he pumps up a bit. The fibers that make up muscle lose shape when they're inactive. As one researcher told us, if you take a chunk of muscle from an active person and look at it under a microscope, the fibers hold together well. If the person is inactive, the fibers look like gelatin, squishy muscles. As you can imagine, don't do much for your appearance. That doesn't do much for your appearance. For example, if your abdominal muscle fibers get soft, they don't do a good job at holding in your internal organs, and your belly looks poochier. I gotta work on that one. We want to be clear, there's no such thing as spot reducing. My son has told me that. He exercises and boxes, and I'm like, can I get rid of this or get rid of that? He goes, you can't. You have to do, you have to do exercises for your body, but you can't target a certain area. Let's see, that is selectively zapping fat off a particular part of your body, but you can pick certain areas such as your butt or your arms and reshape them through weight training. And if you have a wide hips or a thick middle, you can bring your body more into proportion by doing exercises that broaden your shoulders and back. Weight training also makes you look better by improving your posture. With strong abdominal, your stomach muscles and lower back muscles, you stand straighter and look more better, even if you haven't lost an ounce. So when I was a kid, my mom was always telling me, sit up straight, sit up straight. So I'd sit up straight all the time. Well, when I was in school, people asked me, why are you sitting up so straight? My mom told me to all the time. So I tend to do that all the time because of my mom. But it is a good practice to, sit up straight, chin up, chest out, just to feel your body in line with it. So that's about all I have. And if you have any questions, like I said, I'm not a professional. Oh, I got to put that, I forgot. Sorry. We have these bands down here. I've attached them to the bottom of their couch because I usually attach them to my table leg. And then if you sit up straight and then pull these back like this will help your arms too. And do as many as you can. If you can only do one, that's fine. You do 5, that's fine. And then relax. Don't do too many at first, because if you do, you're going to strain yourself and then you're going to hurt the next day. And you don't want to hurt the next day. So this is good. And then these can also go up. Oh, we didn't put that on the door.
Good.
This goes on the door.
More baseball. We'll get the leads for the Diamond. UH Baseball, as we mentioned, has been on fire recently. They'll tell you how they've been doing and what's in store for them as they continue their season.
They got asked to go on the road with them.
Oh, no, good stay here.
But the animal world is
Good.
it's strange video, but
A's favorite video of the day.
but strange. Yeah,
Very strange.
Let us see. I gotta see that.
Yeah.
Good tease right there. We have a lot of construction going on throughout the state.
Yeah, everywhere.
This way. We'll talk about a little bit about some of the traffic. Yeah. Early in the morning, we already see still lots of good traction going on.
And the
Yeah, that's about. Lots of things. Because that would have some.
Go ahead.
Okay, so this is kind of high, but it does the same thing. I usually have mine tied to my, what's it called? My brain goes, my treadmill. I usually have tied to an arm of my treadmill so I can do this. I sat here, you push forward. Oop. These are strong. Push forward. Pretty pressure. I can feel it in my shoulders. Right in back here too. So might be too low. I'm gonna hit my head here. Well, if you get these, they usually have instructions with them. But I know this is supposed, one of the extras they're supposed to.
We lost picture.
Okay,
Oh, sorry, I didn't know if you knew.
So that's the one there, and
okay, I'm sorry, we got a little technical difficulty.
oh, technical problems, okay. Oh, I didn't show the other thing too.
My screen went blank. Is there a reason?
Okay, I'm working on it.
Okay, thank you.
My computer went off.
Oh, no, it did.
Okay. I don't know why, but computer shut down.
Did that turn off?
While he's doing that, I'm just going to let you know that there's a couple of things in the chat. Faye Spencer said that pets can be tripping hazards also, and this is true. And then also Tony put a link in for a page. It's the CDC Government Physical Activity Basics by age chart.
Great.
So I just went to that, and it's a good one to go to. So that link is in the chat. If you can go to the chat and make a copy of that link, I think you can just copy it. Yeah, it says you can copy the link. If you just click on it, and then a little screen will right click on it, a screen will come up, and then you've got place where you can copy it, and then you can go paste it into your browser and go there.
That's odd. It's something.
It got unplugged. Okay, is what happened is the other computer got unplugged. It was partially plugged in and it stopped. I'll get it back on.
We're
Thank
waiting.
you. No worries.
Yeah.
We didn't realize it had come partially unplugged.
No worries.
There we go.
Yeah, just a minute. No. So,
Um,
all right, back on.
Oh,
Yay! Thank
Yay.
you.
I go to,
Temporary intermission.
A second.
okay.
You're on.
Yeah, he told me to wait a minute.
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear.
Well,
My bad.
we're getting feedback. Okay, I had to totally restart the other computer.
Yeah.
Okay, we're good to go now.
Okay, so I like to go to the Goodwill stores or the secondhand shops. Sometimes you can find exercise equipment there. And I found this 8-pound ball there. And when I was taking the strengthening classes with a therapist, he saw that I was sitting and standing, and then, sitting, I wasn't all the way in the chair, and I was coming back up, and I was doing that pretty good. So he said, well, now you need to add some weight. So if you have a 5-pound weight or something, And then I realized once I started doing it, it helped me with my balance. So that was good. I liked it. So you get up with your ball, hold it here, and then come down. Come down, kind of helps with your posture too. And it adds extra weight. So that's another good thing to look for if you go to those things. Maybe you don't, but I do. Anybody have any questions? Like I said, I'm not a professional, but this is kind of hopefully getting a little fire under you to want to do a little more weightlifting or get your bones a little stronger.
What has helped you not to go into regression?
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
What has helped you not to regress in your activity? Or,
Oh, doing my exercises?
yeah.
I do a few of them without even thinking about it. You know, like I said, at the microwave, I'll hold my foot out or do pushes on the counters. But I realized just the other day, I'm going to start marking it on my calendar like twice a week because I write everything on my calendar.
So tracking is one?
So that might help me to be more efficient with it. We'll see what happens.
What about positivity? Maybe some affirmations?
Yeah, I try and stay positive anyway, but you're right. That would help too.
Mindset, maybe speaking it differently maybe could help. Like I need to do this because it'll better my health.
Yes.
I want to do this to better my health.
Strengthen
or something.
bones, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Speaking
I
it.
can stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome. Thank you.
So this is really kind of unfortunate for those who bought it and now are getting rid of it. But this is actually a really good time of year to find exercise equipment in the secondhand stores and in thrift stores, because people have gone through their gung-ho phase in January and February of getting fit. You know, we set those resolutions and now, no, we're not going to do it anymore. And so now they're taking it all to the thrift stores to get rid of it. So
Or
this is a good time to go look.
We're gonna get better stuff, right? Yeah. Yeah, I was fortunate to find that.
Yeah, you were.
Doesn't it go pretty quick though, too, once they come out?
They
Those-
do, Tony. Yeah, it's something you'd need to check on quite often.
Marian,
Yes.
what did you say that you start losing? That one picture showed bone mass. What did it say you started losing it at what age?
It said in the book 35. On this diagram, it shows at the peak is at 35, and then it starts going down for both men and women. Down here's the age. Can you see that?
Yeah, maybe
Okay. Oh, and the peak was 35. Okay.
Well, in the book, it said 35 is when you start to lose it.
Uh-huh.
Isn't that about when people start working and getting into their career? And then
Probably. I don't know. That's a good point, Tony. I'm not sure.
So Faye has one that says, she says, my chiropractor reminds me to keep my shoulders square, not to hunch. And I
probably
missed
did that.
I missed the last of her chat there. Oh, not
keep your
to-
head up.
Yeah, rounding at shoulders, could more problems, it could more problems than help.
Yeah.
So,
Make sure you keep your head up.
Keep your head up. But I'm not a professional, like I said, but I try. And that's the whole point, just trying.
so Faye also mentioned that pets can be tripping hazards.
Yes, they
Do. Not try, do. Do. Action. Do.
You're carrying something to eat, right?
Oh, yeah, they're following you. Yeah.
They want you to throw it on the floor.
It's important to drink water too throughout the day. I know it doesn't taste that great, but if you get in the habit of it, my friend hates water, so she puts those crystal light things in them and then she'll drink them. But water is another important thing to have with you every day.
Water is life. Water is life.
You know, if for people like me who really don't, I mean, I'll drink plain water, but I prefer ice cold flavored water, but I don't always want everything that comes like in a Crystal Light packet. But I did find it's called True Lemon and True Lime and True Grapefruit flavoring. And all it is crystallized flavor. It doesn't have any sugar. It doesn't have any chemicals or anything in it. The funny part is that you don't find them in the drink mix aisle. You find them in where the sugars and sweeteners are.
Oh,
They,
good point. That's a good point right there. Yeah.
you could do the same thing with real lemon and real lime.
And I do that.
Yeah.
I do that. But these are easy to take with me when I'm traveling.
Oh, that because the nutritionist and dietitian will tell you that food first.
Yep.
If anything, it's food first before supplements or anything artificial things that you try.
Yep.
But if you're gonna start somewhere, but try to incorporate your food first before any supplements. And if it's easy to try to help you remember for water is life. We are made of water. We are made of so many percent water, which is, I mean, most of our bodies are made of mostly water.
Yep.
So if we don't drink water, we deplete ourselves. So water is important for us to survive. That's why, I mean, we are not only breath, but we are also water. So
Because you
it's
will
very
get thirsty when you're doing these exercises too. They'll,
Right.
you know, you just want to have it close at hand so you can get a drink. I mean, you don't have to overexert yourself, but if you're
No.
not used to doing this, like standing on your tippy toes and coming down, you know, it's going to be a change for you and you may get thirsty. So having water by you is a good idea.
Yeah, be hydrated.
Yes. dehydrated.
Another thing to add to your water that I heard him say last summer was to put cucumber slices in there, and that gives it a different flavor too, like your orange or lemon. But
Yep.
Yes,
Yeah, that's a good.
cucumber water is really good.
It is very good.
Well, that's all I have, unless you have some more questions. It's just a beginning of something. It's nothing that, you know, I'm, like I said, I'm a pro at, but it's something to be able to do at home and something to make you feel better. And that's what our goal is, to feel better each day, I think.
You did wonderful, and I appreciate your lesson. It was you did wonderful.
Thank you, Tony. Very kind.
Great lesson. Thank you.
You're
I'm
welcome.
going to do that I'm going to present it on Friday to our little group. And for me personally, it was a great reminder of things I should be doing and I'm going to get back to.
There you go. Good job. Yay.
Okay, and Janet, I'll send you the recording. It'll take a few minutes for it to download and everything like that. But
Fine.
it'll be a link and it'll actually be
Okay.
my OneDrive. So you
Okay.
or you can save it in your computer if you want to. But okay. All right. All right. Well, thank you very much for coming.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, next month, I have a lady in Missouri. She's going to do it on cyber. Can't remember what I tell you, Bonnie.
Cybersecurity for seniors.
Yeah,
Oh.
cybersecurity for seniors. And it's gonna be a PowerPoint presentation and it's out of Missouri. And I can't remember her name right now. So I'll be
Oh.
sending that out real soon. I'll send out the invitations.
Very
Thank you very much. I'm gonna
Thank
stop
you.
recording and you guys can just visit if you'd like to.
I didn't get the update